Hi, everybody. Please take something to seat yourself on. And for today, you're going to sit preferably into sitting in Virasana. So I'll demonstrate sideways to start with. Bring the knees together, the feet apart, and take whatever support you need. I have a brick here, and that will go in between the heels to support the buttocks. And as you sit down, come up once more and really dig the fingers, palms down into the back of the knees and draw the calf muscles towards the ankles. And only when you've pulled them way down, then release your hands to the side. So coming to place yourself comfortably in Virasana. If needs be, sit a little higher so there's no stress on the knees. And at the top of the feet can lengthen, spread, and open into the floor. Spread your toes. Ease your heels, your inner heels, up to the ceiling. You can even hook your thumbs into the inner heel and pull them up and ease them out. But now let the outer ankle bones settle to the inner ankle bones so that you get a sense of quietness in the ankles. It's not that they're collapsing outwards or inwards. Bring your palms into Admanjali Mudra. Close your eyes. Bring your awareness into your body and allow yourself to sit vertically upwards, aligning the pelvic floor with the crown of the head through the center of the broad open throat. As if there's a broad, long column of space that eases up from the very base of the pose to the crown of the head. And you allow the breath to spiral through and around that broad column of space. All the way upwards as you inhale, and all the way down through and around that broad column of space as you exhale. Just allowing the free flow of the breath to begin from the base of the pose as you inhale all the way up, and to surrender all the way down through the base of the pose as you exhale. So allow the breath to become a little fuller, longer, deeper on the inhale. A little fuller, longer, and more complete as you exhale. Allowing the full awareness to come and rest, reside in the breath as you breathe in, as you breathe out. Flowing full and free all the way up that column of space on the inhale. Full and free all the way down that column of space as you exhale. And then just allow the breath to settle, to soften. As you rest your awareness in the physical body, allowing the senses of perception to settle and quieten. And as the ears gently spiral inwards, become aware of the subtle internal sound of the breath. How the breath resonates, vibrates in the internal body. And now with each exhalation, as you allow that breath to gently spiral through that broad column of space, Allow the sound of Om to resonate through the whole of this physical body. A-U-M. Silently, internally chanting Om. And bow your head to your heart. Let the heart lift and radiate upwards, outwards. Rest the back of your hands onto your thighs. Gently raise your head and softly, slowly let the eyes come open. Then, from there, just from side to side, release your legs. Sitting in Dandasana for a moment, cup your fingertips alongside you and extend the whole of the back of the leg away from you. Make the back of the leg long. Lengthen, broaden the back of the knees, and let the knee settle into its joint as you allow the blood to flush through the knee joint. Wonderful pose, Virasana, for people with tired legs and even people with knee issues, because you can see it's like you squeeze the knee out and now you're allowing that blood to flush into the knee joint as you open them. And from there, come standing up, put your prop to the side, and come and be in Tadasana, in the center of your mat. And for today, just have your feet slightly apart, maybe a fist's width apart. And stand firmly into those 4 points of the soles of the feet, broadening them, lengthening them, and rooting them down like 4 equally pressurized tires of a car. And as you bring your awareness down to there, just really, truly, deeply check, are those 4 points rooting down? Because in the rooting down, feel already how the arches of the feet start to draw up, that large inner and the smaller outer arch. Lift up. Feel how the ankles draw up. Can you make the ankles really trim? Feel how the thighs, the knees, and then feel how the tail starts to deepen into the body, that bringing the tailbone into the body, to lift through that internal broad column of space. So it's like lifting the spine, as if the spine becomes bigger, more vast in the body. And from there, stretch your arms out to 90 degrees. Extend into the fingertips. Feel as if somebody's drawing your fingers far away from you. Open the shoulder joint. Open the elbow joints. Open the wrist, all the spaces between the carpal and the metacarpals. Ease the fingers away from you. Really pull away. Feel as if the joints become spacious. And then from there, turn the whole of the arm up and out and take your arms up and over your head. Once more, drawing up through the arms. Relax the shoulders, but lift through the upper arms, forearms, palms, fingertips. Lifting up, fully open your elbow joints. Stretch into them, make them spacious. Bring the palms into Urdhva Namaskar. Press the palms into each other, and right from the heel of the palm, lift upwards, as if you're lifting the front of the tail, the whole of the front of the spine, up to the tips of your fingers. Breathe in, create space. And now from there, I'm going to turn to the side, bend your elbows, and keep pointing your elbows further and further up. And now, settle these shoulders into the shoulder socket to pump open your armpits more and more. And take your elbows up and back, really reach, even if the hands go back some, so that you fully open the armpits. Pump open the armpits. Feel that by doing this action, you start to access this area, the dorsal thoracic. Those lower back ribs start to move more deeply into the back. Start to encourage that. Elbows up and back, armpits, pump them open and bring that dorsal thoracic into the back. Dig the inner, lower shoulder blades into the back, like you're tying a big knot in that spot. And then bring the arms up, release them down, and just interlock your fingers behind your back. Check which index finger is in front. Roll the shoulders back and pull your arms back and down. So once more, you find that you access this area of the dorsal thoracic. Bring those lower inner shoulder blades more deeply into the back. Roll the shoulders back. Really bring your full awareness into that area, bringing it into the body to lift. It's like a diagonal arrow from that area, shooting up to the upper chest area. Lift your sternum, roll the shoulders back to encourage that digging in. Breathe. Lift the upper chest. Lift right from the base of the sternum. So in line with this diagonal arrow, you have a horizontal arrow that shoots through to the heart center. Lift, spread, open the heart. And then release and come standing. Relax the shoulders. Once more, taking the arms out to the side, reach into the tip of the fingers. Relax the upper trapezius, as if they're threads just flowing down to the lower trapezius, that dorsal thoracic area. Roll the arms up and out, and now reach into the fingertips. Lift up right from the front of the tailbone. Bring the palms together. Urdhva Namaskar. Press the palms and lift up right from the arches of the feet. Relax the upper trapezius and now bend your elbows once more, coming into Supta Namaskar. So lift the inner elbows up through the upper arms, pump open your armpits, and draw the hands back. Dig the dorsal deep into the back. Keep your head in neutral. Relax the lower jaw, relax the upper trapezius. Dig that dorsal in. Keep going, pumping it in. Pump open the armpits. And then from that big circle, bring the arms behind the back. Now change your interlock of the fingers to the other way, where that's least habitual for you. Roll the shoulders back. Now really dig that dorsal into the back as you pull your arms back and down, back and down. Really making an imprint, deep imprint. So we start to refer to what is somatic memory. You start waking up that area. It makes a permanent imprint into that area. And then release and let go. Take your chair and put your chair up against the wall. From there, just observe you're going to step back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. You've done this many times before. But from there, we're going to come forward. Stay onto the underneath of the toes for the moment. But here, it's the next action. So you've got that dorsal coming into the back. But now for today, the next action is that strong bringing of the tailbone, like you curling it into the body. It allows the pubic plate to lift up. Not only do you curl that tailbone in, but you deepen the sacrum into the body. It's like you compact the sacrum and you compact the two middle buttocks into the body. So tailbone comes in, Sacrum moves in, and these middle buttocks move in. So come and step back for Adho Mukha Svanasana. Roll the inner upper arms out. Broaden across the collarbones, ears in between the upper arms, and stand deeply into your heels. Now rest the lumbar back. It's like you ease your lumbar spine back to your t-shirt. And let your abdomen, your navel area, rest away from your t-shirt. So your abdomen comes to the support of the back body. Lengthen the upper buttocks towards the wall away from you. Now, pressing into the heels, straight legs come forwards into Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Now comes that action. Dig the middle buttocks, dig the sacrum, dig the tailbone into the body, and lift your pubis up to your sternum to your collarbones. And now dig that dorsal into the back. So you have those two major actions, tailbone, sacrum deeply in, dorsal in, and lift up. And from there, lift the hips and flow back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So abdomen to lumbar, lumbar to t-shirt. So if there's any aching in that area, already the back's not so warm yet, so this will be like a counter pose. Once more, coming forward, stay on the balls of the feet for the moment. Front thighs back, tailbone, sacrum in, middle buttocks in, dorsal in. Lift up. And from there, roll back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lengthen the side seams of the trunk towards the outer hips. Front thighs to back thighs. Now from there, lift your hips, roll, flow over your toes, and come a little more deeply into Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Press your front thighs back as you put the top of the feet into the floor. Tailbone in, sacrum in, dorsal in. Lift maximum up. Lift your sternum. From there, lift your hips, toes are light. Roll over the toes, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lengthen the side seams of the trunk. Draw the outer hips back. Last one, lift the hips, roll over the toes, Urdhva Mukha, upward facing dog. Tailbone, sacrum, middle buttocks in, dorsal in, lift up. Can you lengthen the back of your neck and look up and over your eyebrows? From there, lift up, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And from there, come up, step forwards, take your chair a little away from the wall, take your feet as wide as your sticky mat, fold your forearms, and now come and rest your forehead onto the backrest of the chair. Broaden the lumbar back and let the navel rest towards the lumbar. So the lumbar spine moves towards your t-shirt. The navel moves away from your t-shirt. So the front body comes to the support of the back body. Let the tail curl into its natural arc and just come back to neutral. As you can see, we're working on back bends today, and so much of our life we spend going forwards, and especially today where people are tending to be sitting more stationary. It's a tendency to be at a desk or cooking or gardening. It's all forward and folding forward and bending forward. So vital that we get this opposite action to keep the mobility and the health in our central nervous system where the spinal column is. So lying down, take your chair and have your bricks handy. If you don't have bricks, I'm sure by now you've all got your supports. take your support and come and lie down on your mat, feet apart, and stretch the toes away from you. From there, take your hands, the wrists onto the edge of the chair, and reach the palms up. So spread your palms, lock your elbows, stretch into your heels, and now from there, reach the palms away and down and press your hands into the seat of the chair so that the back legs of the chair become firmly onto the floor and release your head. Press the top of the feet into the floor and bring your front thighs to the thigh bone. In doing that, excuse me, guest star, can you lie down? Off you go, in the lying down, that same action that you had in Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, sacrum in, tailbone in, middle buttocks in, dorsal in. So from there, stretch the palms away, tailbone in, sacrum in, middle buttocks in, dorsal in, and release your head. So activate the back body into the body. It's like you compacting the sacrum, the tail, into the body. Dorsal in. And from there, release. Just rest your forearms, your hands on top of each other, and rest your forehead on the top of your hands. Excuse me. From there, take your bricks and put your bricks underneath. If you can, put your bricks onto their narrow edge. If it's a bit high for you, lower edge. And if this even is too high, then stay in step one. So once more, reaching the legs away, roll these inner thighs up to the ceiling, those inner groins back. We've worked on that many times. So sacrum in, tailbone in, middle buttocks in, reach the palms up and away from you. Dig the dorsal into the back, reach your palms away, like you're going to push the back legs of the chair away and down and release your head. Sacrum in, tailbone in, middle buttocks in. It's like you compacting the hips. And then compact that dorsal thoracic by digging the inner lower shoulder blades down and into the back. Release your head, let it just hang. Back of the neck long and soft. Press the palms down and pump open your armpits. And then release and come lying forward onto the back of the hands. Just let go. Now, last variation of Shalabhasana, interlock your fingers behind your back. Sacrum in, tailbone in, middle buttocks in. Now roll your shoulders back. For today, press the top of your feet into the floor. Move your front thighs back. Draw your hands back. Breathe, dorsal into the back. Looking forwards, pump open that upper chest. And from there, release, let go, and come and lie down. From there, coming up, just move your chair out of the way so it doesn't disturb you. And now take your bricks and put your bricks alongside you for a variation of Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. This way, thank you. Come and bring your bricks as low next to your ribs as you can. Take the whole of the hand onto the brick for Urdhva Mukha, upward facing dog. Have your feet apart. Press the top of the feet into the floor to move the sacrum, the tail, the middle buttocks in. dorsal in, and now come onto your knees as you straighten your arms. So for today, you're on the knees. The legs are bent for the moment. Now, sacrum in, tailbone in, dorsal in. Press your palms down, lengthening the back of the neck, look up. So there's still space in the base of the skull and the top of the spine. Don't collapse the neck. You can hear my voice has changed. So if you lengthen the back of the neck to lift up, creating that arch in the back, and from there slowly reach forward to come down. Breathe, have a little respite. Can you take your bricks a little further back? From there, palms down, roll the shoulders back, tailbone in, sacrum in, dorsal in, roll the shoulders back once more, be on the knees and come up. Tailbone deep into the body. Lift from the dorsal spine upwards. Lift the side ribs, lift the side seams of the trunk. Roll the inner upper arms up and out. And from there, slowly, slowly come down. So that is the first stage of doing Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Can you take your hands a little further back? Now we're going to go into the next stage. Rest your forehead, sacrum in, tailbone in. Press the top of your feet into the floor and hit your front thighs to the thigh bone so your knees come off the floor. Now, sacrum in, tailbone in. From those markers, come up. So the legs come off the floor. Move your front thighs to the back thighs by pressing the top of your feet into the floor. All 10 toes pressing down. Sacrum in, tailbone in. Lift the dorsal and start to look up and over your eyebrows. From there, tuck the elbows in. Slowly come down. Pubis meets the floor. Last thing that lets go are your knees, your thighs. Breathe. Last one. Please, if stage 2 is not accessible for you, you stick to stage 1, where the knees are on the floor. Please just be aware of the back and the arching of the back like this. For some of you, keeping the knees on the floor will be more kind, more ahimsa, non-violence towards your back. So please work to your capacity. I can't see anybody at this stage. Roll the shoulders back. Press the top of the feet into the floor. Front thighs back. Sacrum, tailbone deep in and come up. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Upward facing dog. Lift from the pubis through the sternum. Spread the collarbones. Lift the side ribs. Press the top of the feet into the floor. Breathe. Arch up and back. Sacrum, tailbone deep in. Go a little further. Dorsal in. And from there, inhale, release, and slowly come down. Remove your blocks. Rest your forehead onto the back of your hands and just relax your legs. Heels out, toes in. From there, we're going to do one more variation of this on the floor area. So there's Shalabhasana, there's Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, and Bhujangasana. Now bring your hands more under your shoulders. From there, for today, keep the feet apart. Same action, sacrum in, tailbone in, and come up. Keep your elbows bent. Roll the shoulders back. Now press the top of your feet into the floor. Feel the more you activate the top of your feet into the floor, the more you can access that sacrum tailbone action. Middle buttocks in. dorsal in. Now press the hands down. For today, don't straighten the arms. Just think of scrubbing the hands biomechanically down and forwards. Lift up and spread across your shoulder blades. And then from there, release, come down. And we're going to repeat that once more. Press the top of the feet into the floor. Roll the shoulders back. Sacrum in, tailbone in. From there, come up. So the feet are very active, so are the legs, front thighs back. Sacrum in, tailbone in. Now dorsal in. Lift the side ribs up. Press the hands down and forwards. Dorsal deep into the back. But feel like once you've done that, you spread the back ribs. Because this is bhujanga, a cobra. So feel like you're opening that hood of the cobra. And for those of you that you can straighten your arms, but don't push it. Because that can, for some of you, go deep into the lower back. So if needs be, keep the elbows bent. And from there, release and come down. Just rest the forehead onto the back of the hands. And then from there, come up and come kneeling up. Take your bricks. Put your bricks either side of your heels and have your knees hip width apart. So in other words, outer knees in line with the outer hips for Ustrasana, camel pose. So first time round, you're going to keep your hands onto these buttocks to assist. There's like a support with the hands to bring the sacrum into the body, the tailbone into the body, and get that lift of the pubic head. So keeping your hands there, press the top of the feet, press the front of your ankles down to the floor. So press that feet, ankle area deep into the floor and lift through your thighs. So it's like you drawing your leggings up towards the buttocks. Sacrum in, tailbone in. So tremendous compactness in this area. From there, dig the dorsal in and lift up. Keep for the moment looking forwards. Lift up. Vertical thighs. Lift up. Press the hands into the middle buttocks to get that support. And then from there, release and come down. Sima, go to your belly. Actually, instead of the bricks, you know what, today, take your chair. Put your chair onto the sticky mat and take your legs, your shins into the chair. Press the top of the feet into the chair, and now take your hands rolling up, just like you did in Urdhva Mukha Svanasana before. So here, the edge of the chair, the front of the seat, becomes that marker for you to bring the middle buttocks, to bring the sacrum, to bring the tailbone in. And then from there, dorsal in. Those two arrows, vertically, horizontally, lifting through the heart center, diagonally lifting, but now it's like it wants to go vertically up. Ustra is a camel. So here, ultimately, we want this to be like the hump of the camel, the apex of the pose. So inhale, lift the dorsal as you exhale. Start to arch back. Keep your hands on the seat of the chair to press down and lift up. Press down and lift up. Now, lengthen the back of the neck. Keep space between the base of the skull and the top of the spine, and start to take the crown of the head to the wall behind you. Long back neck, and then inhale, release, and come moving up. One more time, and for those of you that can, you can walk your hands down the front legs of the chair. Otherwise, stay in this position. Just tucking the elbows in once more. Press the top of the feet, shins down. Sacrum, tailbone into the body. Lift from the pubis through the sternum. Dorsal in, lift it vertically upwards. And then as you arch back, let the head go back with you. If you can rest the back of the head onto the backrest of the chair. Lengthen the back of the neck. Create space in the inner walls of the throat. Let the breathing continue. Sacrum in, tail in. Lift that dorsal. Now, keeping the head resting back. Bring your hands back to the seat of the chair if they've been down the legs of the chair. Lift from the sternum bone. Lift from your dorsal thoracic to come up. And just be kneeling there for a moment. So our last back bend of the morning is take your firms. If you have a bolster, you can use your bolster as well to come and lie back for Supta Virasana. So you can see my firms, my brick are the same height. That works for my head. If this is too far back, you can get rid of one foam and the brick slightly higher, or you could even add a foam to the brick so that you get the head slightly higher. But it really depends on your capacity in keeping that space in the back of the head. So come once more to sit in Virasana. Knees together, long calves, feet apart, and then bring the firms to support the whole of the shoulder blade area and the brick for the back of the head. Extend your arms to the side so that you get a broadness across the chest through the arms. Back of the neck long and soft. So a variation of this, if you can't sit in Virasana, is to cross your legs in Swastikasana and then lean back onto that support. Taking the arms wide. Spread across the whole of the chest area. So I'm going to go back into the original Virasana. For those of you in Swastikasana, please take Swastikasana. It's more about getting that length of the tailbone moving down. Bring the tailbone into the body. Curl it in. Good opportunity now. Sacrum in. And then from there, take your arms up and over the head. If you can reach the wall, well and good. Press the fingers into the wall. Feel how it has a sense of lengthening and spreading the whole of the abdominal cavity to rest back into the lumbar. And then fold your arms over your head. And ease the elbows away from you. Rather than letting them collapse down, let them lengthen away. Let the side ribs become long. And now breathe out. And as you breathe out, feel as if you spread the soft tissue in the thoracic diaphragm, allowing the abdomen to ease back towards the pubis and down towards the back body. And the lower front ribs to lift up towards the elbow points. So as you breathe out, soften the abdomen, letting it ease towards the hip tops and back towards the spine, and the lower front ribs easing towards the elbows. So it's as if you allow the thoracic diaphragm tremendous space. Take the arms over the head, reaching away for a moment, lengthen the side ribs, and fold your arms the other way. Long, smooth exhalation. Abdomen surrendering back towards the hips, and down towards the mat. Each exhalation, allowing the abdomen to recede, the ribs to ascend towards the collarbones. Get passive, breath smooth. There should be no stress in the breath. And then bring the arms up and over the head, bring them to the side body once more, getting that spread, that broadness to the chest area. When the arms are over the head, it tends to make the shape of the chest longer, maybe a little narrower. Now we make it broader, wider, more expansive. Keeping the head passive, press your hands down. Lift from the dorsal thoracic to come up. And from there, come forwards. Even those of you in Swastika-san, be on all fours now. Extend your right leg back and just have it alongside your support that you've set up. Stretch into the heel. Open. Flush the blood into the back of that knee. And from there, release the right leg. Extend the left leg. Open the back of the knee. And from there, just keeping the legs as wide as the sticky mat, come up into a brief Adho Mukha Svanasana. If there's any stress and tension in the back, press the heels a little more deeply down so the heels really connect the floor. Lift the outer hip, sharpen the buttock bones. Abdomen back to the spine. Sternum to the pubic plate. Side body long. Armpits, pump them open and release your head. Back of the neck long and soft. And from there, release, let go. And Shavasana. Take your support, folding it so that you make yourself a little bolster, and putting your other props out of the way. Come and lie so that the back of the thighs rest over this bolster, the back of the knees over your little bolster, and lean back onto your elbows, lift your buttocks and draw the upper buttocks. Even use your hands to physically draw the buttocks away from you. Spread the buttocks so that the sacrum has enormous space to rest down. And from there, take your arms at about 45 degrees. Press the elbows down, lift your shoulders, your shoulder blades, and pull them to your upper buttocks. And from there, release the arms. Release the back of the neck as if you draw the skull up off the top of the spine. So slightly bringing the chin towards the chest. Let go the feet, the ankles, the knees, the thumbs. Let go the fingers, the palms, the elbows. Let go the shoulders, the hips. Let go the whole of the head. Let go completely. From there, keeping your eyes closed, gently bend your elbows, place your palms onto your trunk. breath flow a little more deeply, a little more fully. One by one, draw up your legs so feet rest onto the support. And let the whole of the abdomen rest to the lumbar into the earth. Check in on how the back body feels after your practice. Extend your right arm over your head, roll completely onto your right. With the back round, press down with your left hand and keeping the head heavy, curl the spine to come sitting in Sukhasana. Palms in Atmanjali Mudra. Breath to settle. Normal, everyday breathing. As you close and seal your practice for the day, the sense of deep gratitude for your practice, the ability to be able to have a mobile, flexible spine. Namaste.